Okay, imagine a machine so powerful it practically bends the laws of physics every single time you hit the gas. Welcome to our explainer on the Koenigsegg Jesko Attack. For those of you fascinated by the absolute peak of automotive design, well, you are in for a treat. This is a masterclass in how boundary-pushing mechanics meet stunning visual artistry. We're going to break down exactly what makes this machine tick, mapping out its journey from an audacious concept to a reality that, frankly, defies logic.
The source material really doesn't mince words here, instantly classifying the Jesko Attack as one of the world's most extreme hypercars. We aren't just talking about a fast vehicle. We're looking at a machine where literally every single component is engineered to the absolute limit. By giving it this classification right out of the gate, it demands our attention. It tells us that every material, every aerodynamic curve, and every design choice we're about to explore was born from an absolute obsession with uncompromising, extreme performance. All right, let's dive right into Section 1, Origins of the Jesko and how they built this legacy.
So unveiled back in 2019, the Jesko didn't just appear out of thin air. It was designed as the direct successor to the legendary Agera RS, the car that famously shattered top-speed world records. Following up a legend, that creates immense engineering pressure in itself. But what truly anchors this hypercar is its name. It carries a deeply personal legacy, proudly named after Jesko von Koenigsegg. Jesko is the father of the company's founder, Christian. Imagine the emotional weight of that decision. Christian essentially put his father's name on a machine designed to be the undisputed pinnacle of automotive engineering. It's a tribute meant to conquer the hypercar world, seamlessly blending a relentless pursuit of speed with a really profound familial homage.
Moving right along to Section 2, the heart of the hypercar, taking a look inside the engine. At its core sits this incredibly meticulous, massive 5.0-liter twin-turbo V8 boasting a 5,065cc displacement. That right there is a recipe for serious speed. But the real magic, the stuff that elevates this engine from merely powerful to historically significant, happens when you fuel it with E85. Because E85 has a highly concentrated ethanol content, it dramatically cools the combustion chamber. This cooling effect allows the engine's internal components to be pushed to absolute extremes, handling immense boost pressures without, destroying itself. It's just a brilliant exploitation of fuel chemistry to unlock hidden reserves of power.
And when you run it on that high ethanol E85, all that engineering we just talked about translates to a staggering 1600 horsepower. I mean, just let that number sink in for a second. 1600. To put that into perspective, that is considerably more power than a modern Formula One race car. It is literally the equivalent of stacking 10 average family sedans together and channeling all of that into one completely street-legal vehicle sitting right underneath your right foot. It's a figure that firmly solidifies its title as one of the most violent, capable hypercars in human history.
But look, producing 1600 horsepower is only half the battle, right? Transferring that sheer violence to the wheels without completely shattering the drivetrain is where things get incredibly complicated. To handle all that force, Koenigsegg created something totally revolutionary: the 9-speed, light-speed transmission. Unlike traditional gearboxes, the source highlights that this system completely ditches traditional synchronizers. Instead, it utilizes multiple clutches to allow for virtually instantaneous shifts between any gear. You don't even have to cycle through them sequentially. You can drop from 7th straight down to 4th in a fraction of a millisecond. It doesn't just manage the engine's power, it tames it, keeping the car perfectly balanced on the razor's edge of its performance envelope.
Which brings us to Section 3, the shell and the brain, focusing on aerodynamics and track performance. The Attack variant is quite literally weaponized for the track, and that requires an intense focus on managing airflow. That massive rear wing and the intricate lightweight carbon fiber bodywork aren't just there to look intimidating. They are mathematically sculpted to pin the car to the asphalt. As the car accelerates, the advanced aerodynamics manipulate the air rushing over and under it, generating immense amounts of downforce. This invisible weight pushes the tires violently into the track surface, allowing the driver to corner at mind-bending speeds that would send a normal car flying off the road. It is a calculated, uncompromising setup meant to provide absolute control when driving at the absolute physical limit.
Now let's step inside for Section 4, the experience and exclusivity, checking out the cockpit.
You'd probably expect the inside of a 1600 horsepower track weapon to be, stripped down, noisy, and pretty uncomfortable. But instead, the Jesko Attack offers this stunning juxtaposition. It transforms into a total haven of high-end luxury and innovation.
The cabin gives drivers a truly exclusive experience by perfectly balancing premium materials like exquisite leather and exposed carbon fiber with cutting-edge technology, including a crisp digital display. Taking center stage is a highly innovative fighter jet-inspired steering wheel, which actually features tactile feedback and gyroscopic screens that cleverly remain level as you turn the wheel. It's a brilliant contrast, raw, aggressive aerodynamics on the outside and refined, almost aerospace-level comfort on the inside.
When you combine the deep emotional legacy of the Jesko name, the sheer violence of that V8 engine, and the exquisite refinement of a luxury cockpit, it transcends the definition of a mere car. It truly becomes a pure symbol of engineering excellence and luxury. It represents exactly what is mechanically and artistically possible when a team of visionary engineers is handed a blank check and told to make absolutely zero compromises.
Which naturally leads us to the inevitable question, doesn't it? For a machine of this unrivaled caliber, what does it actually cost to own one?
$3 million. Yeah, let the shock value of that starting price land for a moment. For the price of a sprawling luxury mansion, you get the keys to one of the most exclusive, mathematically perfect feats of human engineering on the planet. It's an astronomical sum, for sure, but it acts as the ultimate barrier to entry, cementing the Jesko Attack status as an utterly exclusive masterpiece reserved for the absolute top tier of collectors.
If you ever actually have the means and the opportunity, the source is remarkably clear. Do not miss the chance to own one. But for the rest of us, well, we're left to imagine. What would it truly feel like to grip that fighter jet steering wheel, feel 1600 horsepower rumbling right behind your head, and just launch into the horizon? It's a thought that perfectly captures the magic of Koenigsegg. Thanks so much for exploring this phenomenal feat of Swedish engineering with me today in this explainer. Keep asking questions, keep analyzing those details, and I will catch you in the next one.